What's up, guys? We're back and we're about to do an episode on the truck. And on today's episode, what we're gonna do is a Cadillac Escalade interior swap in your '03 to '07 classic Silverado. I already did it, but since I don't know, this is my first time doing it. I don't know. You have to change all this out so you can get your AC switch to work. And also, guys, if whoever's interested in doing this, make sure you pick up the door switches, the door panels, the harnesses that hook up to here on both sides, and go ahead if you want to get all the stuff that you need for the electric seats so you can run that in the future. But anyways, guys, so the first step here is to remove your AC vents on the passenger side. Once you remove those, you see this white tab in there up to the very top where you're gonna push that in, and once you push that in, it's gonna release this. Man, so you gotta push this in and pull out at the same time. And sometimes you have to go back and hit the button again because it has several ridges right here, so sometimes it locks back in. After you remove that, you have some 7mm bolts that you have to remove, and here's 3 right here on the bottom side, 1 right here inside the AC vent, 1 over here on the other side of the AC vent. You have 1 right here and 1 right there, and they're all across the dashboard. So you have another 1 right here, right here, right here, another 1 right here, and I think there's 2 more over there on that side. All right, so I'm gonna start removing these 7mm screws across the whole top of the dash. Alright, so I removed all the screws, and I'm just gonna show y'all like quickly where all the screws are at. Well, where they were all at on mine. Some of you might have different locations in the screws depending on what kind of truck you have, whether it's a 4-door or a single cab. And I forgot to remove this one also. I mean, just look around, guys, whenever y'all are doing this to take it off. I mean, if it's too hard, don't pull it too hard, because you know this is all plastic, it'll break. We got to take this one and this one off. And I mean, this is easy to pull down. All you got to do is that, unclip it from here, and that way you have space. All right, so I'm gonna start off by removing these 3 7mm bolts right here at the bottom. All right, so when you're removing this, guys, be careful, because it does have these tabs right here, and they go inserted right there and right here. I mean, all this lines up right there. And on the other side, it has the clips, and those go right there and right there. All right, guys. So the next step is to remove this and just pull it back. You might have to put a little bit of pressure on it, but don't put too much because this is plastic and this is pretty old. So I mean, over time with the sun, this tends to be really brittle. But anyways, once you take this off, the only thing you do have to remove is the sensor for the light, and that you just come here from the bottom side and you twist it. And when you do remove this, guys, you're gonna twist to your left hand side. I mean, it's not that hard. You just literally just twist it a little bit and pull it down. And same thing on this side, just pull it back a little bit and that's it. This comes off. You're gonna want to take all of this off right here. I just have it here because I have all my wires already ran from my gauge pod, and I don't feel like pulling it all out again. But this one, you might need some help from someone else to grab the other side, because like I did say earlier, it is very brittle because of its age. So this looks like it's going along pretty good. And here's the sensor that I was talking about. All you have to do is just twist it like this and it'll just pop right out. So the next thing we gotta do is remove these 10mm bolts. You got one right here, another one right here, one over here, and we have one right there, and there's two more hiding somewhere around here. Where are they at? Oh, they're right here. We have 1 and 2. And I think those are 13s. I don't think these are 10s. But everything else is 10s. The two bolts that go right here and right here, they are both 15s. But everything is taken off. Now the next thing you need to do is remove this, and I just have one 7mm right here holding it down. And you have to remove this 15 and this 15 from the passenger side. And also, if you look right here, you see the bolt, another 15mm goes right there also. And you can see that one through here, through where the AC vent's at. Man, I really didn't want to do this, but I guess I have to. You got two bolts right here that's holding the steering column. Those are both 15s. And then you got to disconnect all this stuff right here. You got to disconnect this main wiring. And then once you disconnect this, you have, here you can see the bolt through here. You see that bolt right there? You got to take that one off, and I believe it's a 15 too. now you gotta remove that bolt right there, and that's for the steering wheel column. And that's it. All you gotta do is just pop it out. There we go. That's it. Alright, now time to take out the steering column from the inside. So to get the shift linkage cable off, you see this, all you gotta do is push down on these two. I use the needle nose, and I mean you just push down on it and it'll click it back in, and that way you can just light it out. As for this, you just gotta pop it out. This goes right here, and what I'm telling you is once you squeeze it right here, it'll pop this way, you can just light it out. And the other one hooks up to either this side, it hooks up to this side, and that's for your shifter cable. So I put a screw in one of the 15s on each side just to hold it up so I can remove the steering column. I didn't think I had to remove it, but I did. But now I'm gonna take off that 15 and take off the other 15. Alright, so that's pretty much how you take it off. The only thing you do have to do still is those cables run through the firewall, and they run out through here and come to the fuse box. And I mean, you just gotta take this apart. You pull this off, and here's the tab down here. Right here where my finger's at, and you just gotta push that one out and this one out like that. It just lifts up, and then you just pull this up and unplug it from the back. But I don't have to do that. What I do have to do is remove these bolts right here, these hoses for the water, and I think it's 7 screws throughout the firewall right here that you got to take off. Here goes the old one. That thing was dirty. But once I took it off, I mean, to put it back on is just take off, retighten everything you took off in the same order. And when I did this, I didn't know that you had to change all of this out, because the pigtails on the harnesses are different on the one that I had on here. This was a V6, and then I did a V8 conversion, and now I'm doing the Escalade interior. But if you do plan on doing the swap, the only thing I can tell you is buy the body control module and get everything from the inside. All the harnesses that go to the doors, whether you're doing a single cab or a 4-door, get all the harnesses for the doors. Get this thing for the AC. And I mean, just get everything, all the wiring that you see here that goes out to the outside of the vehicle. You need everything. These two, that one, and those two 15 millimeters put on. Now we got to do the ones that come up here. And don't forget to tighten up your grounds that you have. You have some grounds right here, and same thing on the driver's side. Alright, so here's a little bit of progress. We're almost done putting it all back together finally. Now all I gotta do is the center console and the 2 seats, and then the dash bezel. I still gotta put these on, the AC vents, but that's pretty much it. I mean, what I recommend y'all do is, like I said earlier, just get everything. That way you don't have no issues if you're trying to do the swap. But if y'all want to, I'll post my Snapchat right here. That way y'all can ask me any questions, and I'll try to help out as many people as I can. And if I get a lot of questions that's about the same thing, I'll try to upload a video to help y'all out more. And then for the front ones, I just used the regular 15-inch socket. Alright guys, so check it out. This is the door panels. And there's the caddy swap interior. I haven't put on the dash bezel because I want to put on the radio first. I don't want to keep taking it off because I already have a crack right here. And I'm not getting the interior done yet. But anyways, here's a startup. And the transmission gauge works with the swap. Here's the door panels, and they're both automatic roll downs. And this was a manual truck, and when I did this swap, I converted everything over to electric. Here's both sides, automatic roll down. Lock and unlock work. Man, I'm just missing the kick panel, and I have these plastics right here, but I'm working on getting those painted so I can kind of match the interior. But don't forget to stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up with me. The next video I'm going to be posting is putting on the knock sensors and taking it to Caesar to get it tuned. Right now I have a slight misfire, and I'm about to turn it on for y'all so I can hear what it sounds like. And I mean, this is a 5.3 with the cam, has full bolts on, so I mean it shouldn't be sounding like this. And I got 42-pound injectors, a Marlboro 450, Magnum fuel regulator, and it's tuned for E85.